Hey fellas, sort of a longer form video here because I don't want to try and splice this and edit it into a 3-minute short, so I'm just going to do a little off the cuff talk. And it's not October or even September yet, so the annual update will come later, but this is just something I could get off my shoulders. Growing up, I was very impressionable. My dad said, "You know, you're really gullible," and I believed him. I don't know which came first, my impressionability or my response to that. Probably the gullibility, because sometimes I really fall for stuff like real easily. So I think as a defense mechanism, I developed an extreme doubt for any claims. And sometimes I discount that doubt and I just go full speed ahead anyways. Other times, I will not budge on something. More often than not, I will give things a second look before making a decision. And it's true from like really simple stuff all the way to important life or death, spiritual life or death stuff. Like, are you part of the one true church? That kind of thing. It started with really simple things, I guess, and then it developed into politics in high school and college and a little beyond that. And over the past 3.5 or so years, it's progressed into the spiritual, religious, theological realm. That's just how I work. So when someone wants to sell me on something rather, my initial response is just no. And that hides a lot of hostility towards it. And not because I'm even against like whatever they're offering. It might be a perfectly good thing. It's just that's my defense mechanism for not getting duped into something. I can already imagine the responses to that. Like, oh, but we're legitimate though. Trust us. I'm like, that's what everybody else says. So, no, but we're different. You know, we have the right thing to believe. Yeah, that's what everybody else says. So, when it comes to stuff like the one true church, or it comes to like the right beliefs, how to rightly believe in God, that kind of thing. And they might not say that explicitly, but that's what they mean. You don't have the gospel because you don't understand the right way to believe. You don't believe the right way to believe. Something like that. And they feel an incessant need to preach their gospel to you, whatever that is. It doesn't even have to be religious. It doesn't even have to be Christian. It just has to be whatever they think is whatever they believe is their saving grace. Maybe it's something political. Maybe it's something social, a social cause, something like that. Like veganism is a great example of a non-religious, non-political, semi-political, but whatever. Mostly a social, behavioral gospel. So, regardless of the compellingness of one's arguments, I'm just automatically going to say, hang on a second. And sometimes I'll hear a follow-up like, what is it going to take for us to get you into the one true, holy, Orthodox, Catholic, LDS church? What is it going to, brother, how do we bring you over to our side, brother? What's holding you back, brother? And it's like that question right there. That exact question. Why not be Catholic? That's why. Why not attend divine liturgy? That question is why. And that doesn't make sense to a lot of people. It definitely doesn't make sense to them. And it didn't make sense to me until I realized that that's it. Like, that question just pushes me away. Why don't you wear the mask? Because you asked. Is it a logical reason? In a vacuum, no. But again, this stems from like the defense mechanism that I just developed as I grew up. And 9 out of 10 times, that's probably low, it's probably higher. 9 out of 10 times at least, it turns out that I was wiser to hold back rather than commit to a decision. So I just am not gonna. I'd rather not fall into someone's trap, so to speak, about that. So I mean, that's what it works out more often than not. That's why I said in a previous short, like on my moral compass, my north is kind of unreliable, but my polar south, it doesn't miss, like almost ever. Sometimes it does, other times it doesn't. Wait, bro, dude, like, why aren't you invested in index? Why aren't you pushing the index fund gospel? I'm like, for 9 out of 10 people, I do, but I'm not going to fully commit to that just because you keep pushing it. Like, I wonder if you have an agenda. How do I deal with people like this? Not very well. The truth is, not very well. I could do a whole lot better. But the way that I need to deal with it is to just not engage. Just don't even engage. Don't even give them the time of day. They want to engage to try and pull you in. Whether they're people from the Catholic or Orthodox Church, or they're Jehovah's Witnesses or LDS, or they're timeshare specialists, or they're trying to sell you some sort of insurance or whatever. Don't even acknowledge them. Just don't even give them the time of day. Just don't, because in my experience, they're just there to occupy the time and then burn you. That says nothing about what they represent, because I have far different opinions on the actual Catholic or Orthodox churches versus timeshares. Like, no duh. And then everything in between, including LDS and Jehovah's Witnesses. Just the point is that when someone is aggressively trying to evangelize me with whatever their gospel is, whatever it is, my response needs to be that. None. No response. None. Why? Because if you give them a response, they've hooked you. The hook is not, yes, tell me more. The hook is even replying in the first place. If you can help it, don't even give them eye contact. This is about behavior. It has nothing to do with what they actually stand for. It has everything to do with their behavior. I don't trust that behavior. You do it to me, it's going to push me away. It's just going to push me away. When I read the news from Fox, it pushes me to the left. When I read news from literally everywhere else, it pushes me over to the right. That's just how I work, and it's worked out pretty well so far. It's not 100%, but conform not to the pattern of this world. So when something of this world comes to me, my automatic response is just rejection, and that usually works. Am I right to do this? Tell me what you think. I don't know. I could see I kind of wonder if the people who would disagree with that are the people who are trying to aggressively change my mind. I don't know. I can't trust that. I don't know what to trust about that. So my natural response is going to be just no. And that's kind of how I evangelize too, is by not aggressively evangelizing like that. I'm going to let my actions speak louder than words, so I'm going to let my actions speak. And I do enough talking as it is. I don't need to do a whole lot more. I'm sure someone else is going to twist that into something mendacious, but whatever. Sun is setting, kids need to go to bed. Finally nice out. God bless, and see you guys around.